NBA fans acknowledge that Russell Westbrook's prime was something to behold. I remember when he was one of the best players to ever lace up in the NBA. Him and KD were still a duo on the Thunder. He was putting up amazing numbers and was one of the best point guards arguably in the league at the time. Back in 2010 when the Thunder were going against the Lakers, even though the Thunder lost in that series, they were able to take the Lakers to 6 games, with Russ averaging 26-6 in his entire playoff run, showing that he had signs for greatness in his career early on. Then in 2012, Westbrook in the NBA Finals, while the Thunder lost his series to Miami Heat, Russ did put up an amazing 43-point Game 4, shooting 62% from the field and also had 5 assists and 7 rebounds. Russ early on had an amazing offensive game. He was an amazing finisher at the rim, he was a thorough player, he was a good passer and rebounder, and solid on defense. He was very athletic as he was one of the fastest players in the league. While he was never the best shooter, and especially free-point wise, he was good at attacking the rim and getting into the paint. It was marvelous to watch. Westbrook first made the MVP conversation in 2015, averaging 28 points, 8.6 assists, and 7.3 rebounds on 42, 30, 83 splits. And he was also actually the scoring champion that year as well. Did this without KD playing most of the year because of his injury, and while the Thunder didn't make the playoffs, it was no doubt in people's minds that Russell had deserved a spot as an NBA MVP candidate. He would never make the finals again, leading to KD's departure in 2016, which would cause quite the controversy into Russell's best year as he averaged a 30-point triple-double and broke Oscar Robertson's record of most triple-doubles in a season. His averages on the year were 31 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds on 42, 32, or 84 splits. This resulted in him winning his first and only MVP award. While his shooting from the field was not the most efficient, his supporting cast was not a top 5 team in the West, which resulted in him taking the amount of shots that he did. But that season was amazing to watch. An MVP after KD's departure was definitely the highlight of his career. But unfortunately, Westbrook did face disappointment in the playoffs, losing in the first round against the Rockets, and then losing in the first round 2 more consecutive years, twice to teams that he should have beaten. Then Russell Westbrook did have an amazing year in 2020 when he was on the Houston Rockets with James Harden. That year he averaged 27 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds, shooting an efficient 47% from the field, which was his best shooting percentage of his career. He was mostly amazing due to the fact that they had a small ball lineup functioning in Houston at the time. This led Russell Westbrook to go into the rim and dominate, which he does best. 2020 was probably his most underrated season, as well as his second best season of his career. Fortunately, this was the last year of Russell Westbrook's prime. In 2021, he made the move to the Washington Wizards. He had a great stretch of games where he had triple-doubles, and he was doing it like he was playing 2K, having 20 assists or 20 rebound nights, or maybe sometimes even both. Looking back, it was actually pretty insane to watch. His averages came to 22 points, nearly 12 assists, and nearly 12 rebounds on 44, 31, 65 splits. While not his best individual season, he did have a good stretch of games, and they even made the playoffs. Fortunately, as much as I praised Russ throughout the video, I have to talk about the negatives as well. Even his prime showed many weaknesses in his game. First off, his shooting, especially from free, was not that great. While he would still have 20-point, 30-point nights, it would all be on terrible efficiency. One of the worst flaws in his game is also off the turnovers. For his career, Westbrook averages 4.1 turnovers a night. And last but not least, his decision-making, especially against this example versus the Blazers. As you can see, he decides to take a mid-range shot, dribbling out the court with 30 seconds left, and they were up by 1 point as well. This is definitely not the first time that Westbrook has made terrible decisions in the clutch or during a game that cost his team the win. As great as Russ is, it's hard to defend him at times because of things like this, and for that, it's sad to see how his career turned out. I remember when Westbrook was well beloved and liked throughout the league, and he was a top 3 point guard. But now, people are starting to think that he's maybe about to enter his twilight years, and he may not even be in the league within the next few seasons, which is truly sad, considering the fact that Westbrook used to be such a polarizing player and one of the best in the league. But I will talk about one thing that's positive. Westbrook's prime was nothing short of amazing. From 2010 to 2020, he averaged 25 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds on 44, 31, 80 splits, which is a great 10-year stretch for any player, especially a point guard. His accolades, including winning MVP, a multiple-time All-Star, a 2-time All-Star MVP, an All-NBA player, and a 2-time scoring champion. Westbrook, while he has faced criticism for certain things in most recent years, I cannot deny that it was fun to watch him play back on the OKC Thunder and some of the Houston Rockets. Now, while he's still on the Nuggets competing for a championship, it is sad to see that Westbrook is not the same as he used to be, and it is so unfortunate because while the Nuggets stats was he's having the best season on efficiency, he can just not seem to get out of his own way. And from the looks of it, it looks like it is happening all over again. With time winding out in his career, Westbrook will probably be on the bench in the future. Could he contend for a championship contending team? We'll just have to wait and see. Until next time, it's your main man Ryan, and as always, stay tuned for more.